I'm Deborah Shapiro, and I'm a magazine collage artist. What I do is I take magazines, rip them up in little pieces, and I make pictures out of them, as you can see behind me. Now, from a distance, they kind of look like painting, but in a minute here, I'm going to show you some close-ups, and you can see all kind of little images from the magazines in them. Now, I have originals, and I have limited edition prints, and you can find all of this on my website at deborahshapiroart.com. So let me grab the camera and show you some close-ups of some of my artwork. Now it's going to make a little noise here as I grab it. So let me show you, this is a pretty recent one I've done. This one I call Come Fly With Me, after the Frank Sinatra song, because I was singing that as I was working on this. You'll see that this is all a bunch of monarch butterflies. This is an original, so this is 24 by 36. It's on a canvas board. I'm sorry, it's on a stretched canvas, which is about 1.5 inches thick. I'll try to show you from the side here. This will be framed, but it's so new, I haven't had time to frame it yet. And I use floater frames, which I'll show you here in a little bit what those are like. This has colors of blue, green, orange, and yellow, and black, as you could see. What I like about this one, it's a little bit different for me, because you don't see a whole bunch of little images in there. While you do, I do have some vegetables. You'll see some zucchinis and peas and cucumbers, different things in there. But this kind of looks like stained glass, which I know on video you're not really getting that. But there is like a texture to everything. So when you see it in person, it really kind of pops, and the colors are really vibrant, which I'm not really sure you're getting that on the video here. But this one is, once again, is 24 by 36, and this is called Come Fly With Me. Now, another one I recently did over the winter is this 1965 Ford Mustang. This one is also 24 by 36. And once again, I don't have it framed yet, but I will shortly. Or if you order it, I'll make sure I get it framed right away. Now this one has a bunch of fun little things in there. You'll see clothes, hands. Let's see, right over here, let's see, this is Robert Redford. Cut off his head though. That's his body there. This is like a towel bar they see in a bathroom. We have part of a clock. Someone gave me a bunch of magazines from classic cars. So you'll see there's like, a guy that was in the pit. Some racing going on. Now, everything is paper that I had very tediously cut out. Now, so even like the letters here, the Ford. So the little black line, that is a piece of paper. The little white highlights, that's a little piece of paper. The gray is a piece of paper. All my artwork, you can see there's a little shine to it. I coat all of them with an acrylic medium, and then they're also coated with varnish on top of that to protect them. That has UV protection on it. Now this also has a map, and throughout the map is Route 66, which is now Route 40, or close to 40 from what I understand. But you'll find the little cities that it runs through on there. And then the license plate. I like to put a little extra meaning in my artwork. And the license plate represents Lee Iacocca, who designed the Ford Mustang. And he was born in October of 1924. So that's why it's LI 1024. Let me move on to, let's see. How about my prints over here? So I have 2 sizes of prints, and you'll find everything on deborahshapiroart.com. My smaller prints are $45, and these are 8 by 10s, and they're mounted on 11 by 14 board. So it makes it easy for you to frame them. So I have this, let's see, we have a walleye here, owls. I know there's owl people out there. This is, a little Boston Terrier. We have fish, lobster. I have a whole bunch of different birds that are, if you like to take a look at. We also have wine. I have a bunch of different wine ones too. Now I did some musical instruments last year. This one, now this is my larger size, and this is 11 by 14, and it's mounted on a 16 by 20 board, and these are $65. This is a Les Paul guitar, and in the background you will see there are names of people who played Les Paul guitars throughout it. And one thing that I thought was kind of cool that I found is these are nail polish bottles, and they were just like in the right position, and I thought, don't those kind of look like volume knobs? So I thought that was kind of cool to see on there. Now this next one here, this is a Stratocaster, and it's based on Jimi Hendrix. He used to set his guitars on fire. He was born in 1942, which I have right down here. And then these are songs that are played on a Stratocaster. They're mostly from my era, probably about from like the 70s and 80s. But 3 of them are by Jimi Hendrix, and I wrote them upside down because he would play his guitars upside down. So just little fun facts, and a lot of my pieces have something in them. This one I call Save the Bees. There's a bunch of bees in there. This one's a First Lady's flag, and it has quotes from First Ladies throughout there. Mostly inspirational, pretty much all inspirational quotes in there. We have pool balls, little fox. I always like that one. If you like my original of my monarchs, I do have, this was another one. The original is sold, but this one has 3 monarchs on it, and you can see there's some jalapeno peppers in there. Little fun things to look for. And of course, all my stuff comes in both sizes, and there's a bunch of roosters. A couple years ago, it was Year of the Rooster, so that's what you'll find, some roosters. So let's see, I have a few other ones here to show you. Now this one I call Wine with Friends, and this one is 16 by 20, and this is what I was talking about with the framing that I have for it. You'll see that I have, it's called a floater frame. They're all going to be black, unless you request something different, and I can see if I could get it. But there's a gap between the canvas and the frame, and they're not, they don't have glass on them or anything, so you still see the canvas, but you could also see the sides because it kind of sticks out from the side, and there's a little space between that and the edge of the frame, but it gives it a nice kind of finished edge to them. And once again, these all come in prints also. A couple years ago I did some horses because I used to videotape horse shows. We have coffee, wine, parrots, musical instruments, and so forth. Let me show you a couple other prints. Now this one I call Crazy Kitty, and you can see there's Ben Franklin up here. I also found an article about cats, so throughout the eyebrows you'll be able to read little cat related words in it. But it's kind of an interesting one, and if you like cats or you know a cat person, that's kind of a nice one. Once again, I mentioned that the Year of the Rooster, it did a bunch of roosters, and this one I liked particularly. I thought it was pretty nice. The colors are like bright red with yellow with the black and white rooster. Really kind of makes him pop out. A little hard to see right now because it's kind of a sunny day, and he's kind of backlit right now, so he's a little hard to see. Besides the lobster, I also have a crab, and for this one I had found an article about blue crabs, and I know so much about blue crabs now that I did some research on it, but the background has parts of sentences from articles that I found, and to create that shadow I had to print up all the words in both white and gray and then kind of piece it together. So everything is ripped paper, but in this case the background is not magazines, it's something I actually printed up and did some research on. And then once again we have another horse here. So if you want any of my prints or originals, or you just want to kind of look up more stuff, go to my website. I also have workshops. I have an online workshop, and once this whole flu kind of goes away, I'll start doing in-person workshops again too. And I should have ebooks up shortly. So go to my website, DeborahShapiroArt.com, and thank you for watching.